David Pakman had Paul Cameron on his show recently, and Paul Cameron, if you guys aren't familiar with him, is with the Family Research Council, and he said some hideous things about Barack Obama after he came out in support of gay marriage, and he also said that gay people want to ensure that every boy and girl be raped at least once. He's a hideous person, but David Pakman did a great job interviewing him and asking him a bunch of questions about his ideas on gay marriage and homosexuals. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because David did a good job of trying to get him to admit that he has feelings toward men.
I see. This is our longest standing argument, which is that people who claim that it's a choice, well, they must think that because they made the choice. Like, they think, well, I made the choice to be heterosexual when I could have just as easily been with dudes, right? And so that's the only logical conclusion. So I love that Pakman put Cameron to that decision. Now, Cameron is the guy who had said that President Obama must be gay, and that he had heard things about that, and this confirms it, right? So let's find out who's actually gay.
What age were you when you decided, I'm going to evaluate men and evaluate women, and I'm going to choose for the rest of my life, I will be attracted to women? How old were you when you did that?
Well, I didn't do that so much consciously.
Oh.
I reacted to my environment. As you're probably aware, I was seduced or raped as a child. I was about 3. And I was raped homosexually. And so had that continued, I don't know where I would have ended up. But I do know that the culture, which was directed toward heterosexuality, overcame whatever feelings I had. And I had some that I acquired as a 3-year-old. And by the time I was, say, 8 or 9 or 10, I was thoroughly interested in girls.
All right, so, you know, if what he says is true, is obviously what happened to him is horrible, right?
Right.
But I don't remember anything that happened to me at the age of 3. So he has interesting ability to remember. Some people might remember what happened to them at the age of 3. I'm not saying about the assault that he suffered, but I'm saying about his feeling towards men and women at the age of 3 seems fairly well defined. Now, he lived through a traumatic thing that I didn't live through. But no matter what, what I'm saying is I'm not convinced that that's the thing that propelled him to later in life think, hey, do I like boys or do I like girls? And as he admitted there, he apparently liked them both.
Right, yeah, and he said it there point blank. It's not like he was beating around the bush. He's like, I don't remember verbatim, but he basically
was definitely
said,
not beating around the bush.
Okay, but he basically said, like, I did have attraction to men, but then later on I grew out of it. So, I don't know, I found that fascinating.
No, but there it is. I mean, it proves exactly what we've been saying along. In fact, David asked the question that we were asking the other day on the show, which is at what age do you go, hey, you know what? I'm totally into dudes, but I'm not going to go for it. Right?
We have one more video. Let's watch.
Isn't it possible that you are gay?
Well, it's impossible. Gay is kind of a political term.
Oh.
Am I interested in homosexual relations? Not at all. I don't, on a scale of 1 to 100, it's zip. And as a matter of fact, as I've dealt with people who have this affliction or this desire or this interest, if anything, I'm repelled by it. I'm probably about a minus 100.
He seemed way too flustered in that clip. He just sounded like that's where he was beating around the bush a little bit.
Yeah, no, it's perfect because he had just said, well, of course I was into guys too, and I made a choice to go with women. And then he says, oh, I'm into guys. I'm minus 100, you know what I mean? Is that convincing? No, Paul, that was not convincing. We were convinced the other time when you said you were into dudes.